Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell, live on Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyles, streaming live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's great to be back. I wasn't on the air last week, but it's great to be back once again for another episode number 38. Let's get into the Super Bowl recap, man. It's nothing really to dive into so much as far as the details of this football game, as the Philadelphia Eagles are back on top. They win the second Super Bowl in the history, and they beat the defending champs, the two-time defending champs, in the form of the Kansas City Chiefs, 40-22. It was all about the defense, and also Jalen Hurts doing his thing. The combination of those things made the difference. Uh, Obviously, defense set the tone with the sacks, the pressure on Patrick Mahomes. That's what they had to do coming to this game. They had to put pressure on Patrick Mahomes. And they did just that. They had 6 sacks. They had 3 turnovers. One of them was a pick six for a touchdown by Cooper DeJean to make it 17-0. And that's what it's about. That's what you gotta do. You gotta be able to put maximum pressure on Patrick Mahomes, so there'll be no three-peat for the Kansas City Chiefs. And now you look at Philadelphia, man. Well, they have a dynasty of their own because when you look at the way they're built, most of their key players are gotta be under 30. Most of their best players that they're not past their prime. So this is a team that definitely could win multiple Super Bowls moving forward. It could be the favorite definitely coming out of the NFC next year. But at the same time, it's one day year at a time. You never know what happens year to year. Teams get fat and happy, become fat cats, and not be satisfied. Just be satisfied with one championship. They have a hunger for more. So we'll see. But it's tough to three-peat, and that's why you're not going to see a three-peat opportunity. I don't think ever again. Give credit to Kansas City. They accomplished a lot this year, but they just ran out of gas. I mean, they just played a better team that had a better roster. Philadelphia had a better roster. They were a better team, and that's what it's all about. When you talk about this Eagles team, they're loaded from top to bottom. They loaded at wide receiver, AJ Brown, obviously Devontae Smith. You know, obviously Saquon Barkley had a big year this year. So when you look at Jalen Hurts, he's definitely came to his own this year, especially in these playoffs. So look at Jalen Hurts, he definitely came to. So he was able to get it done this year, and he improved as a quarterback. I give credit to Jalen Hurts. He's outplayed Patrick Mahomes twice in the Super Bowl. That Super Bowl that they lost 2 years ago, he played well. He outplayed Patrick Mahomes. He did his job. It's just that it wasn't no good enough, but it's not his fault. But he was able to redeem himself. He played well. He scored 3 touchdowns in total. One touchdown pass. Excuse me, 2 touchdown passes. Um, One to AJ Brown and a deep ball that was a great pass to Devontae Smith to make I think 34-0 at the time. Um, just a dominant performance by this Philadelphia Eagles team. And then you got two receivers that can make plays. Then you got Saquon Barkley. He didn't do that much. He didn't dominate. Didn't make a catch down the sideline. That was a big catch for a lot of yards, but they didn't have to utilize Barkley so much. Barkley was not a factor. But give credit to Jalen Hurts. He ran the ball well. He threw the ball extremely well. He was able to make the plays in the passing game. He did what he was supposed to do. He was efficient. He played a great game. And so people got to know respect Jalen Hurts. He's definitely moving up. His stock definitely improved with a championship because he has something that, you know, Josh Allen doesn't have. He has something that Lamar Jackson doesn't have. That's a Super Bowl ring, and that's what they're looking for. They're trying to chase that elusive Super Bowl championship, which now has at the disposal of Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts is a champion, Super Bowl champ. That's what it comes down to. So give credit where it's due to the Eagles. They were dominant. They did what they were supposed to do. They had a top ranked defense all year long. It was a top notch defense. And when you have a top notch defense, you got to show it against, the homes. And yes, Brady give him credit back in that Super Bowl, Super Bowl 51, I think it was, against Atlanta. That was a great, great comeback. But the thing is, that Atlanta Falcons team, I don't think was a number one ranked defense. This was a number one ranked defense. So it all comes back to that. usual slogan, that term, defense wins championships. And it was on display this past week, Super Bowl 59. It was all about the defense. They just put so much pressure on Mahomes, and he had happy feet. He wasn't comfortable in the pocket. That's what you got to do to any quarterback. And they was able to show that, display that. And he was able to, capitalize on that and have their way. So give credit to Philly. There's nothing else to say. I mean, they just dominate, man. That defense was a great, great defense on Sunday night. And give him credit. Hurts played well, 17 of 22, 221 yards, two touchdowns, one interception. Jalen Hurts also led the team in rushing, 72 yards rushing and a touchdown. Monte Smith had 4 catches, 69 yards, one touchdown. Brown had 3 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. And just did what they had to do to make it happen. Barkley caught 6 passes. His longest was 22 yards. I think that was the one down the sideline. Josh Sweat was great. Total tackles, 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Milton Williams had 4 tackles, 3 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. Jordan Davis had a sack. Jelix Hunt had half a sack. Nolan Smith Jr. didn't do that much. It wasn't much of a factor. Jalen Carter, what did he do in this game? He didn't do anything for him. Make a tackle. So it was the other guys that stepped up. Give him credit. Had no 6 sacks. That's what you gotta do. Simple as that. Eagles ran for 135 yards. So it was just a great, great performance by this team in the Eagles. Just had a better roster. The problem with Kansas City also is kind of like they had been running game. When you look at these numbers as far as rushing yards, 25 for Mahomes. Kareem Hunt only ran for 3 times for 90 yards. And again, they was down by a lot of points, but I think they had been in the running game too quick. You know what I'm saying? They could have opened up the offense and like stay, with the running game a little bit, but they wasn't able to do it. So it is what it is. So there's nothing else to say. Eagles are back on top. They're the champions. See if they're gonna have that hunger for repeat. They did what they were supposed to do. Give them credit. Now Kansas City will be back. The problem with Kansas City is that, will Travis Kelsey, retire? Will he be back next year? I think they need to draft a tight end moving forward. And I think they need to improve their offensive line to give time for Mahomes. Mahomes gonna be back with a vengeance, but the only way they're gonna get back to the top of the football heat is that they have to have a better offensive line. The offensive line got to get better, and they got to get a tight end, draft a tight end, get better at wide receiver a little bit. So I think that's the thing for the Eagles, man. Everything's set up. They can have a dynasty. They have a dynastic run because they still loaded. Most of their guys are in their prime. They're a young team in a sense. So I think they're gonna be back. They should be the favorites to come out of NFC. We'll see what happens. Right now, it's all about the Eagles. I think the Chiefs will be back. They'll be strong. But I think Baltimore and Buffalo got to step up, try to find a way to get back to the top, get to the Super Bowl. But we'll see in the offseason what happens, what take place. Let that speak for itself for what it is. We'll see what happens. So that's all needs to be said about that. So congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles. They won the Super Bowl. They are champs. And now this NFL season is over. And it's been a marathon, long, long season. A lot of storylines that took place as far as like, could the Chiefs get back to Super Bowl and three-peat? And they fell short. They fell short in the stick. But you gotta give credit to the Eagles. The Eagles was ready for them, and they was able to handle their business and get the job done and become Super Bowl champs. So congrats to them. Give them credit. But I think the Chiefs will be back. We'll see what happens. So that's it for the Super Bowl recap. Let's keep moving to college basketball. St. John's, um, Red Storm. I think they're a big story in college basketball. When you look at the way they're playing right now, they ranked in the top 10. St. John's, 21-3. They're looking really good on the East Coast. St. John's are doing their thing. They beat Connecticut this past Friday, 68-62. That was a big time win. And we in the mid part of February, so when you look at college basketball is about to end pretty soon. So it's all about March Madness coming up. When you look at St. John's, they're looking really good. Now they did lose yesterday to Villanova on the road, 73-71 as a number 9 team in the country. So they still got a lot of work to do. Try to get maybe a top seed. They play Creighton on Sunday at home. Then they play at DePaul at home against St. UConn. That's going to be a big game on the 23rd. They play Butler at Butler. That's all the games. No, they got two more games. Got a couple games in March. They got to play Seton Hall and they got to play Marquette. So this last game will be on March the 8th. But that's a standout in the college basketball landscape. St. John's playing so well. Despite losing yesterday to Villanova, they're having a great season. But they got to keep it up. And plus, when you look at this top 25 in college basketball, Auburn is number one, Alabama is number two. It's a lot of SEC teams in their business in the top 10. You got Auburn, Alabama, Florida, Tennessee, and Texas A&M. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 teams ranked in the top 10. So the SEC is definitely dominant right now in the top 25. As far as top 10 is concerned. Auburn is number one. Alabama is number two. Florida is tied for number 3 with Duke, but they're still in the top 3. Tennessee's number 5. So 4 teams from the SEC is ranked in the top 5 right now. Ranked in the top 5. Number 1, Alabama. Number 1, Auburn. Number 2, Alabama. Number 3, Florida. Number 5, Tennessee. Then number 8, Texas A&M. Then you got Purdue at number 7, Houston at number 6, number 9, St. John's and Iowa State at number 10. Michigan State number 11, number 12, Texas Tech, Arizona number 13, Memphis number 14, Kentucky 15, Wisconsin 16, Kansas 17, 18, Marquette 19, Mississippi, Michigan 20, Missouri 21, Mississippi State 22, number 23, Clemson, Creighton number 24, number 25, Maryland. Now, what you don't see, what I just read in these rankings, you don't see is Connecticut, UConn. UConn is not in the top 25. The two-time defending champions are not in the top 25. So what that means is that they don't have to really, really work hard and try to get into the tournament. They don't have to win the uh, conference championship, and try to get into the NCAA tournament. I'm saying it's not guaranteed they're gonna make it to the tournament. They're gonna have to run the table because they're not even ranked. Connecticut. So it's possible they may be on the boat where they might not get in, but the only way they're gonna get in, they have to win out. Like they really have to play good basketball to qualify for a tournament run to win that third straight championship. So uh, that's the storyline with the men's basketball. I want to get into that. So that's it for that. And this time, obviously, it's 8:16 right now. We wanted to start a little early. May start doing the show at 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. Get out the way. I think that'd be a good look. I'll see what happens. But I wanted to change the time, go from 9 o'clock to maybe 8 o'clock. So I'm not gonna be out for long, just a little bit. Just doing a brief recap. Keep moving. So that's it for the men's basketball. Let's get to the NBA. Obviously, it's that All-Star break. It's gonna be starting tomorrow. Right now, you got games right now. Warriors and the Rockets. They're 6-4 in favor of the Rockets. So in favor of the Warriors. Pelicans winning 12-9 against the Kings. The Heat playing the Mavericks. The Thunder playing the Timberwolves. Clippers playing the Jazz. Now, Luka Doncic finally got on the court recently for the Lakers. Let's recap that. It was this past Monday. Lakers and the Jazz. Luka Doncic made his debut. and he did great. Played no side, not great, but solid. They blew out a bad team in Utah. They beat them 132 to 113. Um, Luka Doncic had 14 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in his debut as a Laker. So they improved to 32 and 19. So he was back. That's one of the highlights of the week. Other notable games: Warriors beat the Bucks 125-111. Cleveland beat Timberwolves 128 to 107. Tuesday, the Knicks beat the Pacers 128 to 115. Yesterday, the Celtics beat the Spurs 116 to 103. Gavin Fox, is a San Antonio Spurs, so he used to be with the Sacramento Kings. He was involved in the trade, so he got traded from Sacramento after being there 8 seasons. Now he's with San Antonio Spurs. He's involved in the trade. Yeah, a lot of trades went down um, recently, and he was involved in that trade. Young Fox, he's with San Antonio. He's involved in the trade, so it was a lot. Luka Doncic obviously, going to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis. Now Anthony Davis is out. He got an injury. He's out sidelined until a month. This is typical Anthony Davis. He's a great player, all NBA, having a great season. 25.7 points a game, 12 rebounds a game, 3.4 assists a game, shooting 52.8% from the field. But the thing is, he's out with a groin. He's out with a groin. He's expected to be sidelined for up to a month. So that trade is not going to pan out now that he's out. How you going to know how good this team is? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it. That's the thing that's amazing is that this guy's always injury prone. You talk about Joel Embiid being injury prone. I mean, Anthony Davis always been hurt. And speaking of Joel Embiid, he may have to get another surgery. Got a left abductor strain, Anthony Davis. Yeah, he has a very long history of being hurt. See how many games he's played in his career total. 64, 67. This is going back to when he was with uh, New Orleans Hornets, the Pelicans. 64, 67, 68, 61, 75, 75, 56, 62, 36, 40, 56, 76. Pretty good, not bad. This year, 25. So the most games he ever played in his career was 75 and a couple of times in 76. But he's always been injury prone. He's always been hurt. Now, Joe Embiid recently saw somewhere that you're going to have surgery. Yeah, they're going to need another surgery to get his knee fixed. What else is news? This guy's always hurt. You're going to need more knee surgery, another knee surgery in the offseason. And the Sixers don't look good, man. They're terrible. They're not gonna make it to the playoffs. They're not gonna make it. I just think that they just dug a hole for themselves. They're not healthy. They always have certain guys out in and out of the lineup. I just think that's over for a team like Philadelphia 76 who had so much promise. Now it's not going to be fulfilling because they got too many guys out. Because we about to go into the All Star break. The All Star game is this coming Sunday. It's unwatchable. I ain't gonna be getting into that. But as far as that's concerned, yeah, Philadelphia Eagles, the Philadelphia 76ers finished. I don't think they're gonna make it to the playoffs. Philadelphia 76ers, I think they're done. I think you gotta put a fork in them. They're just not that good. It's not. So so this is the last day before the All Star break. Um, it begins tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow into Saturday and Sunday, and NBA play will resume on February the 19th and the 20th, and so forth and so on. So the NBA All Star break is gonna be coming soon, starting tomorrow. Look at the standings. Right now, Cleveland is 44-10. OKC is 44-9. So still those two are the two best teams. They've been on top of their game all year throughout the first half of the season. So we're gonna see how they do the same in the second half of the season. And when you look at the Western Conference, OKC is 44-9. They won 7 in a row, but keep your eyes on the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets are playing like they're supposed to play, like a championship team. 36-19, they're in third place. They've won 8 straight games, 8 straight. So they're looking good right now. This is what the Denver Nuggets are supposed to be. They're supposed to play at a high level. And they're doing it right now. Houston, they're in the fourth place. Lakers in fifth place. Memphis in second place. Golden State don't look good. I don't think they're gonna make it in to the playoffs. 27-27. I don't think they're gonna get in the playoffs. And Minnesota's kind of underachieved also. They 30-25. They don't look at themselves. Dallas, I think they finished. Because again, Anthony Davis being out for a month, that's gonna hurt the team. You're not gonna see how good this team gonna be with him in the lineup. So that trade for Luka Doncic is becoming a waste so far that he's out. Now that he's out for a month, and that's bad. That's bad news. Can't stay healthy. Yeah. The strain and stuff like that. I mean, you don't know how good this team is now that he's going. But the 76ers, man, they're not going nowhere. Their record is 20-34. I don't see them improving at all. Matter of fact, they lost 5 straight. So they go into the All-Star break with 5 straight losses. 14 games under 500, not even close to being a playoff team. It's a lost season for the 76ers. Look at the stats. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander lead the league in scoring, 32.6 points a game. Trae Young, top assist man, 11.5. Curry, 4.4 3 pointers made. That's number one. Sabonis of Sacramento, 14.3 rebounds, 3.8 blocks. Wembanyama, Dyson Daniels, averaging 3 steals a game. So as they see it, let's look at that's the player stats. Look at the team stats. Memphis leads the league in scoring, 123.3. Denver Nuggets, 51% field goal percentage. Oklahoma City Thunder, plus 13.4. Oklahoma City Thunder, 104.7. Houston Rockets, 47.9 rebounds a game. And they got the block shot and to the category. The Spurs are number one, 6.5. All right, so that's it, man. That's it for the NBA coverage. Right now, it's time to get into quickly on this day in sports history. February 13th. Let's get into that real quick before we close out. Obviously, it's going to be a very short show. I have no problem with that. I may, like I said, start doing the show at 8 o'clock p.m. instead of 9 o'clock. I may go with that, do the show out early, get out the way. Right, let's get into Honest Day in sports history for February 13th. I'm going to go over all the events, but some of the events. Okay, let's get into it. Right, February 13th, 1920, Baseball Hall of Famer Rube Foster and seven other team owners created the first Negro National League at a meeting in the Kansas City YMCA. February 13th, that's on February 13th, 1920. Read it again. February 13th, 1920, Baseball Hall of Famer Rube Foster and seven other team owners created the first Negro National League at a meeting in the Kansas City YMCA. February 13th, 1923, first black pro basketball team Renaissance organizers. All right, 1937, February 13th, Boston Redskins received approval from NFL to move to Washington, D.C. to share baseball's Griffin Stadium with first Washington Senators of the American League. Future world champion Rocky Marciano, this is 1952, on February 13th, knocked out Italian heavyweight boxer Gino Buonvino in the second round at Rhode Island Auditorium, Providence, for his 40th straight win. 1954, on February the 13th, American college basketball player Frank Selby scored a record 100 points for Furman, beat Newberry 149-95. 1974, on February the 13th, James Cool Papa Bell is named to baseball's Hall of Fame. 1977, February 13th, the 27th NBA All-Star Game in the Mecca Arena in Milwaukee. The West beat the East 125-124. Julius Erving of the 76ers was the MVP. Figure skating history, 1977, February 13th. Eric Heiden is first American to win World Speed Skating Championship. 1983, February 13th, in the 33rd NBA All-Star Game at the Forum, the East beat the West 132-123, and the MVP was Julius Erving of the 76ers of Philadelphia. 1987, Tigers, Detroit Tigers, Jack Morris was awarded 1.85 million salary by arbitrator. February 13th, 1989, Oklahoma football player Charles Thompson was charged with selling cocaine. He was later sentenced to 2 years in prison. February 13th, 1990, Larry Bird of the Celtics of Boston ended NBA free throw streak of 71 games. 1994, the 44th NBA All-Star Game at Target Center, Minnesota. East beats West 127-118, and Scottie Pippen was the MVP. 2000 All-Star Game, Shaq and Tim Duncan won co-MVPs as the East lost to West 137-127 in Oakland, California. Finally on February 13th, 2022, in the Super Bowl, I think it's Super Bowl 56 in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Los Angeles Rams beat the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20. Cooper Cup won an MVP for the Rams. Right, so that's it, man. That's it for tonight. The show is over with. You can check out last two articles are available right now on e5280sports.com. Obviously, I write articles for this platform, Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyles. You can check out the website where I wrote about the NFC AFC Championship game recap. Did that. I did my predictions and stuff like that. So check that out. I'll do my Super Bowl recap pretty soon. That'll be up. So check out the two articles that are up there recently. Check it out. Keep moving. All right, so that's it for the night, man. For episode number 38, be back for episode number 39 next Thursday, maybe at 8 o'clock. We'll see if I can do it at 8 o'clock every single Thursday night. Do it an hour earlier than just doing it at 9 o'clock. Have the rest of my night to myself. So I think it's a good look to just do it at a certain time earlier than later. So that's it for episode number 38. Be back for next episode number 39, and keep moving. I mean, sports is gonna be very, very, tough to deal with, because the last true event of the NFL, I mean, of the NBA, of the sports in general, the last true sporting event in sports was the Super Bowl 59. It was a dud. It wasn't a classic. It was a blowout. So congrats to the Eagles for winning the Super Bowl. But I'll definitely get some college basketball, NBA, sports history and stuff like that. So I'm still gonna find a way to do the show. Maybe shorter shows, maybe 30 plus minutes, not for a whole hour. They're gonna do it from 8 to 9 p.m. Still gonna be an hour show like it was from 9 to 10. But I think I'm gonna make the transition, start doing the show at 8 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on Elevation 52A Sports and Lifestyles. Stream live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Check that out on those three platforms on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube. And thanks for all the support. Whoever tuned in tonight. I'll be back, like I said, 8 o'clock p.m. a new time, 8 o'clock p.m. episode number 39 of Inside Sports with Rashad Mitchell. Until then, talk to you next time, next Thursday night at 8 o'clock p.m. Have a good night.